Hey, it's Navigator, back with the Final Fantasy VI review.
I don't steal, I treasure hunt. For boobies.
Very nice, I missed that.
Yeah.
Once again, in medieval times, technology
Medieval times.
magic in a war of the Magi.
There is magic in medieval times?
Yeah, I remember when you read about the Crusades and the War of the Magi happened.
Oh, I remember there being magic in medieval times, the dinner and tournament, but...
The game begins as three soldiers of the Empire.
So this is a 40-hour video doing a play-by-play of the game.
Yeah, I think so. It's supposed to be a review, but we're just going to be going through the game, more or less.
The translator is Ted Woolsey.
This is the only piece of credits that's worth it.
Through the town and fighting some weak opponents in the streets, you reach the mine and enter.
I started to black out around this point.
Here's an unnecessary detail in this cornucopia of Final Fantasy VI moments.
And here's the next thing I remember.
Calls upon the mysterious Welk monster to defeat you.
Uh-oh.
It's actually a supernatural turtle lookalike with the ability
Turtle
to
lookalike?
its shell. Only
What?
attack the head if you want to survive.
Just like a turtle.
Heal your party.
Do you think he's actually seen Final Fantasy VI, or he's just going off a description of events?
Do you think he's in a straitjacket in a padded room?
You'll encounter the Esper. Espers are simply frozen creatures on the surface.
It's simple.
They're so mysterious, there must be something more to them. This Esper zaps soldiers Wedge and Vix.
George Wood uncovering the Final Fantasy conspiracy.
You wake up unaware of what has just happened.
Espers did 9/11.
The old man who found you begins to explain that you are being controlled by a slave crown. Before you're able
Boy,
to
I wish I had one of those.
soldiers knock on
Is
the
this
door.
really an important part of Final Fantasy VI that we needed to talk about?
Slip out the back door, but the soldiers see you on your way to the mines again. Enter the mine quickly and save your game.
Okay.
Explore the mines.
You don't need to enter it quickly.
Yeah, he's just walking there.
Phoenix down, while the second nearby chest contains a
Okay.
Really?
through the mines. Uh-oh.
Wait, this is not...
Uh-oh, I dropped my game
Luckily,
FAQs.
you escape and through a hole in the ground, but your fall knocks you unconscious.
I feel like this is some terrible campfire story about Final Fantasy VI.
Fight in machines. Meanwhile,
Grandpa, stop.
sends his good comrade Locke
Emperor
to the
Gestalt.
mines to assist Terra. Since Terra is unconscious, you'll need to defend her.
Remember Old Man, the best character in Final Fantasy VI?
The great Mughals will step in and give you a hand.
Do this with Kutan.
Fight the leader. Attack the leader first, then defeat the Lobos. After this battle, Locke will carry poor Terra out of the mine.
Why?
Terra awakes.
Hey, don't editorialize your review,
It's a
Navigator.
secret to most people. With the Empire behind you for the time
Therefore,
being,
I give it a 5 out of
enter
10.
the training house near the edge of the Narsh village. Inside, you can replenish your life fully at the recovery pot and save the game.
If
at
you're a
save
wussy.
point. Explore the rest of the building, then leave Narsh and set out for a
Thank you,
Whoa.
Navigator.
Figaro castle in the desert.
Beware of glitches.
Fixated
Watch
on
out, yep.
especially likes Terra. When the king finally leaves the room, explore the castle to find
Uh-oh.
treasures, item shops, and an inn. During your exploration, you will discover that Figaro and his brother Saban's father.
Here's a little montage of Figaro Castle.
To find King Figaro, and soon the game will be interrupted by the arrival of a.
Oh my god, how the fuck long can this keep going?
The loyal servant
wait.
of Emperor Gestalt.
Wait, you don't need to label Kefka when this dialogue box says Kefka.
Here's a trapezoid to show off Kefka.
Sure.
Enjoys power, as you will see later.
Here's me watching someone play the game through a window.
More storylines and characters, and most of all, great music in the
Through an
remaining
8-bit
adventures
window.
of Final Fantasy III. Final Fantasy III is an awesome game.
Hey, he's saying 3 on purpose.
But the plot really thickens at Figaro Castle. Final Fantasy III includes great
It's a little slow, so let me go over it beat by beat.
challenge and endless fun. So this game is a must
Endless fun, see?
fans of the fantastic.
Endless fun.
Fans of the fantastic. Is that the review?
No, this is part 2.
Enjoy a blast from the past of the early adventures in the
What?
game. At one time, Kefka had arrived at Figaro Castle looking for.
Huh? Is this like 2 reviews
Hand over Terra,
together?
Kefka sets Figaro Castle on fire.
And now a retrospective. Where were we?
Managed to escape from the Empire's attack via Chocobo. Before leaving, Edgar switches the castle into submerge mode.
Well, he doesn't do it.
Can do anything about it. The castle reels.
It's not like keyless entry into your car.
No, that's how submerge mode works. You click the little thing.
Okay.
South Figaro, but to get there, they have to make their way through a small cave. Luckily,
Shown here.
A recovery spring is right inside.
Shown
to
here.
replenish your HP to maximum levels.
Maximum levels.
HP stands for hit points, and the more
Yes!
It's not that impressive.
alive. Upon exiting the cave,
Why are you telling us about hit
for a short
points?
distance until you reach South Figaro.
You crossfaded like 2 seconds into the
Check
future.
all the barrels and secret places to find hidden items like tonic, a recovery potion. You'll return here later in the game.
Tonic or
to
green
find
cherry,
loose
whatever.
ends, But for now, you can update your weapons and armor and stock up on tonic at the item
Loose
shop.
ends!
If you can afford it, buy 20 or more of them.
So remember this.
The big
Random
mansion on the
times
northern
for very
end of the
specific
town belongs
tips.
to Alzer, and there's a secret passage behind the bookcase in the
We are going to use every effect I have in this video editing software, like it or not.
To stay at the inn, then head north from South Figaro until you reach a cabin.
He's doing a speed run.
Cabin, and you can use the beds to get
Whoa.
a good night's sleep.
He's very obsessed with sleeping in this
And
game.
according to
Yeah,
some
really?
who comes from Mount Colt.
That is the most important part of Final Fantasy 3.
Hope he hurries, he only has a minute and a half to get to the very end.
Inside of Mount Colt, you'll run into a very nasty enemy.
Next is the World of Ruin.
Vargas is the son of
A very nasty enemy, not doing the blitzes correctly.
jealous that Sabin was chosen to succeed his dad. Vargas can be
Yeah, this is
defeated
no
with
longer
Sabin's
a good
blitz command.
strategy
You'll
guide.
probably notice that Sabin looks like Guile from Street Fighter 2. Check out that wild hairdo. Don't be surprised if some
Wait,
of
what?
those remind you of Giles.
That's just wild, dude.
Now for my review of Street Fighter.
The Returners are like the rebels from Star Wars. They are against the Empire. Here you'll meet Bannon, the leader of the Returners.
That's
Together,
the
you'll all hold a
best
meeting to
description I
discuss
could come up with.
Everyone agrees
Bannon
that
looks kinda like
Terra's
E. Honda.
powers are their only hope. Terra has to make a difficult decision at this point of the game. Using her magic hurts her body.
Just like Star
Using
Wars.
Her magic is the only way to stop evil. Once Terra decides to join, a desperate messenger arrives with the news that the Empire has attacked South Figaro.
This is
and
such a
hiding
weirdly
its way.
specific summary, though.
Quick escape
No, it's a
to
review,
Iraq in the late
clearly.
game.
Oh.
In 2 places during your wild ride.
Hey,
you'll be
put
able
Ben
to
in the
choose
back
which way
row,
to go.
George.
At the first turn, then, go north, and the second time, go left. The biggest problem in the Leyte River is not the water, it's what's in the water.
All the gameplay advice we need.
Winner of Nintendo Power's Best Villain Award, Ultros is a crazy
He was?
octopus who will follow you throughout much of the game and surprise
He
you
won-
with
he won a Best Villain Award?
During the battle with Ultros.
And to this day, he continues to win it.
Spell on every round. In all the chaos, Sabin ends up in the water and is carried away by a swift current.
Really, though? Or-
Spoilers.
Again? Tune in next time and you'll find out.
Was there a follow-up to this?
No, I don't think so. I think that was the end.
Oh.
Amazing. So,
George Wood got stuck after that. He couldn't figure out which of the 3 scenarios to pick.
So let me, a little context for any of our new reviewers. This is a series we did back in the day.
Yes, there's a playlist devoted to him.
Yes. Really, we actually met the guys who run Navigator and such. But they found these reviews that were done by this guy George Wood, who is speaking, and they're like these terrible game. You can see more of them on their channel.
Right, so
which is-
George Wood himself is not affiliated with Navigator.
as you're right, that is correct. But they got the rights to this public access show where this dude reviewed video games for some
Well,
reason.
I don't even
or
know if they got
another.
the rights to it. They just found them like, hey, let's put them on our channel.
It's so totally weird. I don't understand, but yeah, a Navigator also hosts an award show.
Yeah, which is continuing to this day.
It absolutely is. And best villain will be Ultros, year in, year out.
Yes.
Is what I've heard. I have it on good authority. Update your betting pools. So, did this video, if you were younger, would make you more likely or less likely to buy Final Fantasy 3?
6 slow beef.
Oh, well.
Don't pull a wood on me.
Okay. Excuse me?
I'm sorry.
Um,
No, I think I would just be very bewildered. I mean, I guess I'm thinking like a childlike mindset with cutting all the time to random stuff, which would be cool if it was like a best of action shots, but it's a lot of cuts to sleeping and walking around and talking about tonics and cherries.
maybe this was like a full playthrough, but like the film canisters kind of got burned, and this is the best they could
Okay.
do with it.
Here's what we could salvage. No, narrate it, George.
All right, you got it.
That'll be fun.
First, I'll record myself talking. Then we'll lay it over the video. Then it's produced.
Do you think George Wood ever played a video game?
He knew a lot about them, I guess, but no, I don't.
He did have a script in front of him.
No, yep. He likes Final Fantasy 6 better than 7 though, because he said 7 was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, what did he not like about 7?
Too boring. It was the same thing over and over again.
Was it like too much story? Leaning on story over action, something like that?
Yeah, and the graphics weren't very good.
Yeah, then there was the close-up of Tifa's boobs.
No, that was his review of the boxing game.
Oh, no, that's
Contender.
right. Oh, yeah, it was completely unrelated. That's right.
Yeah, Tifa was not in the game that they reviewed, but the end of it.
Right,
yeah.
right.
That's George Wood for you.
Good times.
Good times. I'm glad we went back to revisit him.
Yes.
I mean, sort of glad.
Sort of glad.
Thank you, Navigator.
Thank you, public access. What a wild hairdo.
Just like Kyle. Let's describe everything in video game terms.
Just like Star Wars.